What's up, world? You are welcome to Nesteli. Today, we're talking about overcoming the destructive inner voice. It's basically like stories of trials and triumphs of therapy, written by Robert Firestone. Yes, Robert Firestone. So, if you're interested, please grab your seat, grab your popcorn, or your bakery, or your kuli kuli, whatever it is you're eating, and grab your friend, and please sit. Let's discuss. Okay, so it's me, Nez. Welcome to Nesteli. This is your first time. Nesteli, what we do here is basically we talk about books every other day, and you can decide if you should read a book or not. So every Monday and Friday, there's a new book that is being discussed. Then you can decide if you should read it or not. Then, of course, subscribers, I love you guys. Much love. Thank you for always coming back. You guys are wonderful. So this book, anyway, let me talk about, first of all, overcoming the destructive inner voice. Let me start by talking about what the inner voice is. The inner voice is basically, like, most times, whether you're willing to admit it or not, there's a voice in your head that tells you to do what is right. Sometimes it's founded on principle, it's founded on experience, it's founded on values, something that's happened to you before, or something that you've been taught over and over and over again. So most times when you're in a particular spot and you're supposed to make a decision, a voice tells you do it. So another voice tells you don't do it. Then you decide then you decide what you will listen to. The destructive inner voice, on the other hand, is basically the voice that ends up tearing you down more or makes you feel like you're the worst that you could possibly be. That is what the destructive inner voice is. Now, this man, who is a therapist, had taken out time to do several. He has spent his life doing several therapy for several people, and basically talking about what it was like for the patients, from the eyes of the patients, even though he's a doctor himself, but from the eyes of the patients, talking about what it's like to deal with this inner voice. So I wanted to share a few things from this book, and I think they are wonderful. I think they're about 4 or so. So again, the laptop is here. This book was written in, when was it written? 2016. So it's about 4 years old. Okay, so let's begin. What I think, here's what I'm going to do today. I'm basically going to talk about the things that we could all gain from reading this book. I'm not going to be talking about stories specifically because the stories are a lot. Okay, so number 1, you are a work in progress. You are a work in progress. I use that because I noticed that a common thread amongst all the patients that he had, or most of the people that he put through therapy, were people that believed in the finality of themselves. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, you're a failure. You're not dead. You're alive. You're a work in progress. There's so much more that you can do. You're not a failure. Not yet, anyway. You're the one that decides that if you're a failure or not. But really, you can just turn it around. Like, be like, okay, yeah, I didn't do well in this thing right now, but I can change it. You're a work in progress. There's always time. There's still time to work, to study, to fix your mind, to fix your life. There's always, as long as there's life. Do you understand? As long as there's life, there's still a lot to do. So yes, you are not a failure. That was what I got a lot, because a lot of the people that had those problems, they constantly heard in themselves, you're not a failure, you're terrible at this is that, and I don't know. I think it's very destructive. It really leads to the destructive inner voice. That's number 1. Number 2 is, I think that a lot of the people were self-centered. Self-centered, like the whole world is about them. Personally, I think that your life is too small to be the reason for your life. This personally, to me, a lot of them were people that are so absorbed with themselves. Me, I. Honestly, I feel like this has a very big tendency to happen more in the cities, just based off personal experience myself. Because I grew up in Enugu, and then when I moved to I grew up in Enugu, in the eastern part of Nigeria, and then I moved to Lagos, which is like one of the biggest cities in West Africa. And I hear more people saying, like when they're talking about their friends, how could she do this to me? Me, I. But I'm like this is who I am. Anybody that doesn't like it should go. So it's like, I don't get it. It's like, there's more. So I feel like one of the major issues that can make you feel like have the destructive inner voice, or could not help you even if you had it, is that you made everything about yourself. Like, if you miss taking on a charity, take on more people, have more friends, be willing to let other people be around you. It shouldn't be all about you. So that was number 2. Number 3, I think, is this one has more to do with parents. Now, this one, I'm not exaggerating. Every single patient had a problem with their parents. The inner voice that they had that was negative to them was connected to their parents. This one, I think, shocked me the most, but it did make sense because I can relate to that. But let me not make this about me for a minute. A lot of them, like a particular lady was pregnant, and after her trimester, she developed some kind of mental issue, and she started becoming a little violent, and she wanted to kill herself. They took her to a hospital, then called the therapist to come and talk to her, and the woman just believed that she couldn't do anything. Like she was going to be a terrible mother. She's never been a mom before. Do you understand? So she was going to be a terrible mom. She was going to kill her child. She wasn't going to be good at it and all that. And then through constant therapy with the woman, they realized that it was her mom who had left her dad and was taking care of them. The mother, when the mom had left their dad and was taking care of them, a lot of times she complained consistently of what it was like to be a mom, telling them that you people don't know what I'm going through, you don't know what's happening to me, you don't worry, when you have children you will see how it is. It's not easy, that you don't even have to take care of anybody, you know. So like the girl had heard it over and over and over again, that it was inside, it was buried inside her head, until suddenly she got pregnant and boom, the voice came back up, and she started becoming destructive because she knew fast for a given, she was like, there's no way she can be a good mom, and she was still pregnant. So parents, please, if you already have children, be careful with the words you say to them. It's good that you can rebuke them, you can punish them, you can discipline them, but your words stay with them consistently. Personally, this has been a big issue for me. I've had to work with voices in my head and all that. So that's number 3. So number 4, last definitely not the least, do not forget to get professional help. If you're someone that you think that you're struggling with destructive voices, something that is making you feel like you're worse than you really are, making you to do things that you know that are bad, because there is a difference between the voice and you. The thing with the voice is that we've called it different things, especially here in Nigeria. Some people call it the Holy Spirit, some people say something inside me said, something was telling me, all those things. But sometimes that something tells you to do something bad. That is when it becomes destructive and it's a problem. So when that bad thing shows up, don't forget to seek professional help. Be sure that you're okay. Really, that the theory that mad people, there's a stigma that's attached to people that are mentally challenged, that they are mad, that basically meant for you to be walking around the streets crazy. We have to kill that, because if you need help, you need help. The other option is that you get very destructive. There's literally the story of a boy who ended up killing his mom in this thing, and that was because he wasn't listening. Of course, after he shot his mom, he started crying because he couldn't believe he did it. But the voice in his head was telling you, I should kill the mom, kill the mom, kill the mom, kill the mom. A boy was like 22 years old or so. You understand? So it's very, it's a very interesting balance. But I feel like one of the things you want to do is that whenever it is you feel like you need help of any form, please don't forget to ask for help. If it means checking, like even do a quick Google search could help. But here in Nigeria, there's some people, I left some descriptions in my, I left some contacts on Instagram through my description box, people that you can actually call and see if you can just talk to them. So please, if you're in Lagos, call these people and see if you can talk to them. If you cannot walk in, see whether you can do a DM with them, tell them what your issues are and see if they can help you. Please, the idea is to be as mentally sound as possible. So my conclusion, should you read this book? Oh boy, this book, okay, here's what I'll say, right? You can read the book. I actually think you should read it, right? I just think that you have to be mentally, you have to be sound. For some reason, when I was done with this book, I felt very exhausted because I just kept wondering, I was worrying a lot. I don't know if that makes any sense. I was worried. So if I wasn't in a higher mental or emotional state when I read the book, I think I may have sank low. That's what I assume. I could be wrong. If you read this book before, Overcoming the Destructive Inner Voice, it's a true stories of therapy and transformation by Robert Firestone. If you read this book before, please leave a comment below, and please, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell so that I can get the notification anytime a video from next day shows up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for constantly coming here, because that means that you're willing to do something good for your life. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.